požutjelim slikama. I kad poželiš plave oči da natopiš, dođi, put znaš, mada mjesto je obraslo u travu i šaš. Jer ja sam sam, a i ti si to znaš. Jer ja sam sam, a i ti si to znaš. Potraži put, potraži put, iskriven trag, još uvijek nam drag. Potraži put, potraži put, iskriven trag, još uvijek nam drag.
Just gonna make myself a cup of tea before I start. Market's already falling, it seems. It's 30 seconds to the open. Expecting maybe a little sell-off today. Middle of the week, it's possible it reverses some of the gains from Monday, Tuesday, which were all extremely explosive rallies, V-shape reversals, very low probability stuff. Come on, water boil. Zagaranulog dnevnika izblijedjelim pjesmama, požutjelim slikama, sa izblijedjelim pjesmama i požutjelim slikama. I kad poželiš plave oči da natopiš, dođi ti put znaš, mada mjesto je odraslo u travu i šaš. sam IT si to znała. Some really shocking things happening on Monday. This V bottom here. Monday. Low probability trade worked out and insanely. So low probability and low risk can sometimes end up in a huge reward, but it's very rare. I think the majority of the time people who buy a V-shaped reversal here will get stopped out. There'll be some kind of retest of the lows. But on that day they got lucky, not just in the Nasdaq, it also happened in Nikkei. I was looking at Nikkei. I think the majority of those times, majority of those times where it looks like it's going to be bottom, it's going to do some kind of a test of the lows, and people who try to take reversals there will have wired their brain the wrong way potentially, and they'll just get wrecked. Majority of the time, like 60% of the time, I'd say, even more, even more. Let's see what happens here on the open. So pretty much giving up everything it did yesterday. The close was up here, so it's a huge gap down of like 400 points, so more than 1%. And the Nasdaq. First 5-minute bars really dropping hard now. Big frenzy to sell. Big frenzy. Here's part 2 now. Looks like maybe a potential target's yesterday's low. So yesterday the market did not get above the high of the week last week, but it got to the close of last week. Oh, sorry, the open of last week. And the close of, almost the close of this prior bull, but not quite. Which is important because anybody who bought the close there went up a little bit and then they got trapped on the weekly chart. So if they get up here, maybe they get out break even, I'm not sure. Maybe they bought long lower and they're going to get out break even some other way. trading into the bar 1, the body of bar 1 from yesterday, which was an explosive bull bar and became the low of the day. I've been trading the Nikkei a fair bit this week, not really much in the DAX and the Nasdaq. I'm trying to migrate over to the Nikkei so I can trade during the day here in Australia. It looks like the bears are pressing down, not really giving much of a chance for the bulls to rally. And see how they're pressing it down, the way the bar is ticking. I'm thinking about potentially shorting here something. I'm not sure there's minor pullback here. I'll figure out my stop. See if I can catch some kind of early move down, but it's been the reversals have been brutal. And the bulls have been so strong the last 2 days, which makes me scared to short, but it's okay, I'll live, even if this trade doesn't work out. Bar 2 on the 5-minute chart is looking disappointing for bears. It just traded above the prior high. trying to find some sellers there. This is not really reacting the way I wanted it to. If it was going to be a rapid sell-off, I'm going to close half the position. So sometimes I take a probability is quite low, I think, on the open, right on the open. So I don't usually trade in it, but if I do take something, like today I was wondering if it could be one of those high probability days where I just keep selling off. I'll take it in like very, very small size. And then if it works, I'll add on more. But I did just close half of my small position. I'm just going to close the rest of this now. It's not working. So a small loss there of 60 something dollars. I was just thinking in that position I may consider being a buyer above that bar, so I'm just going to get out if it closes a bull bar. And yeah, there are some buyers above it, apparently. So let's just give this market a little bit more time, and obviously I'm not able to capture anything on the open here. It's okay. Like I was saying before, the rallies lately have been just so out of control. Just absolutely brutal rallies if you're looking for a short. Like any day back here where it sold off on Tuesday especially. Oh sorry, Monday. Look at this, like sell off, you think bear breakout, and then you're looking for a short. But no, it just does a V-shaped reversal and just never, yeah. Low one short there, quickly fell. I was actually short there. My stop up here got wrecked quickly, and yeah, just the rallies have just been insane. So I don't know what happened here, 6 o'clock, Thursday morning, whatever. Probably some Trump statement bullshit from Trump's mouth. Whatever he's talking about. Iran, Iran, Iran. I don't think he's going to stop anything in Iran until there's absolutely nobody on the planet talking about Epstein and what potentially Trump did with Epstein. All the distraction. Saw some post on his Truth Social saying communism is the biggest threat to America ever. Yeah, just like anything, they'll just say anything just to move the narrative on. Stop talking about uncomfortable things. Well, these bulls, that I think they're hoping for another strong rally here. Bar 2 is a bad buy signal bar in my view. So buying above bar 2, I don't think that's a very good idea. Nor is bar 3 a good buy signal bar. So if this does rally, theoretically it shouldn't go very far. But I'm always coming back to the point that the rallies have been absolutely insane, and low probability things have just been hugely rewarded. But if I'm thinking about it rationally, bar 2 does not look like a great bar to buy above, nor does bar 1. So I don't think that it's going to go very far if it goes up. That's just me. I think the majority of the time, traders who do stuff like this will not be rewarded. They're probably going to be disappointed. But it's a crazy period at the moment. Been a crazy week. Where something happens and you're like, yeah, V-shaped reversal. I don't think so. And then the market rallies 800 fucking points. Like, what? Okay, great. You keep doing that. You keep buying those V-shaped reversals and see what happens. How often they actually happen. I think that they're very low probability events. Very low. And if you keep betting on those, I think you're going to be disappointed long term in your trading career. If you're taking, I suppose you can make it work. If you're taking really low probability trades, you need a really big reward to make up for all your losses, and also to put you in profit. So if I'm taking 3 full losses of like $300, then I need to get one trade that's going to make me like $1,500, $1,600 for it to be worth it. And being able to hold a trade for that long is just a mental game that I'm not really good at. So the style of low probability trading doesn't suit me. I prefer to take high probability scalps. Or if I take something that seems closer to 50-50, I'll take it in smaller size. Mm-hmm. So potentially it's going back up to the high of today, which is bar 1. It's also a pretty rare occurrence that bar 1 remains the high or the low of the day. Yesterday it did, but it's not very common. So the 15-minute chart, a 2-bar reversal, went down and went up. The 30-minute chart, looking kind of like this on the 60-minute chart. This here on Tuesday morning. A huge sell-off and then a huge rally quickly, the V-shaped reversal. It's kind of what the 30-minute bar looks like at the moment. So could that set up some kind of big rally again or what? I suppose it could. Seems like a kind of random place to reverse up there. The middle of bar 1 on the 5-minute chart. On yesterday's from yesterday's action. So 50% point of bar 1. Okay, that's interesting. Never seen that. There it is. Some people placing their buy order there, apparently. The limit order long at a 50% retracement of bar 1 from yesterday. There you go. High of the day here. Mm-hmm. 5 minutes to go until this 15-minute bar closes, bar 2, on the 15-minute chart. This bar here is a good follow through of bar 2 on the 10-minute chart. So far, but it does have a smaller body at the moment. It's still got 4 minutes to grow bigger. Could potentially grow a lot bigger in 4 minutes. It did just go briefly above the high of the day, didn't it? Let's see. The high of the day here was 82.1, and this one went 82.1, equal highs at the high of the day. There you go. May decide to sell again. Gonna double top maybe. How's the S&P? Similar. Dow, similar. Sell off. Double top now. Does seem like this is going at least a little bit higher there, doesn't it? Maybe it's wrong to consider selling anything when you've got potentially 4 bull bars in a row now. Needs something more. This is a kind of bull flag at the high of the day. Looks like it's going to break out. Well, at the moment. Possibly some kind of climactic move up. Maybe if I were to buy it, use a super tight stop loss. Gonna buy it here. It's right into the close of the 15-minute bar, so it could be a bad idea. I'm just gonna take profit here. It did look like it was threatening to break out of the high of the day with these two consecutive bull bars. I thought it's going to go at least a little bit higher for a scalp. Because it has a tendency to want to close these huge looking bars, like this huge looking bull bar on the 15-minute chart. And then sometimes what I've seen happen, the next bar will briefly trade above that, trigger longs, and then sell off rapidly. So I want it to close before that happens. This is just going up. I'll just give it a bit more time. It may still sell off. I don't know if these little, what you call it, like nuances are really that important to most traders, but I see it a lot. Like, for example, I see it into the closes of really important time periods, like the 5-minute bar, sometimes the 15-minute bar, especially. And also I see it into the closes of the 60-minute bar, where the market just wants to do something really quickly in the final 5 minutes of the 60-minute bar. Like if it's been rallying, it will just do a really quick climactic rally to close a 60-minute bar on its high. But I have to have some kind of setup to do it, like consecutive bull bars here. Trending lows, if you look carefully, trending highs and trending closes. This high looks like it's just a little bit above that high. This low looks a little bit like it's above that low. And the closes are trending as well. So now potentially a reversal after this huge buy signal. The thing is, like, I always think in these terms, I'm not pissed off that I got stopped out of my short here. I know that if the bears want to take this down, they have to print a buy signal for bulls who are going to be taking the opposite side, the losing side of their position. So if the market sells off, it needs to print buy signals. So I'm not upset about this, and taking a small loss in a short. I know it needs to print a buy signal to attract bulls to keep buying as the market's moving down, buying losing positions. So if this thing's going to sell off, it needs to do something. If the banks are any good at making money from people, they need to trap them in the wrong direction. So if a market's going to sell off, it needs to trap someone. There needs to be something to buy. Otherwise, every single person on earth would just be selling and making money. And everybody would be getting a really bad average price. And it just wouldn't work. So the market needs to print a buy signal if it wants to sell off. That's how I look at it anyway. It could still sell off. But right now, it is just printing bull bars on the 5-minute chart. Nothing bearish looking yet. The other markets, Asia down a little bit, the Nikkei. I shorted here a little bit. I shorted right here, a failed breakout and took some profit there, just for a little bit. Okay, so Nasdaq, let's just watch Nasdaq, fuck that. A bear bar finally. Is that a second entry short of some description? The 30-minute bar looks really convincing, doesn't it? That it's going higher. Like closing right on its high tick. And this one, 5 minutes in, hasn't already reversed, so that's a good sign for the bulls. Maybe this market is just too bullish this week to think about shorting. That could be the case. Let's have a look at the 1 hour chart. So, bear channel from the Asia, and then something really climactic down. I think that, obviously that was a bad position to sell for me, but I think I should have been maybe paying attention to this a little bit. That there is a bear channel here, clear bear channel, and this is really climactic. So it needs to be really bearish for you to sell something that's below average. Like the channel is the average price. And then when it gets something sort of really climactic breakout of the channel, often it just gets reversed back into the channel. So maybe that was just a bad, yeah, that was probably bad. Bad idea. Sometimes you get really quick sell-offs. And you just feel like taking a small position just to capture something. But obviously I was really quick to get out as well. Yeah, really, really tight bull channel now, as it turns out. I'm just going to be really patient here. So, it was interesting. School run long would be taking place right here. It's sort of working, but not really. It's still at the entry price of the school run long. Like, that is a buy signal bar, however you look at it, because it's closing on its high. It's closing above the high of the prior bar. It's a 2-bar reversal. So, if it's such a good buy signal, why is nobody buying it? Why isn't this bar up here somewhere? Maybe traders are a little bit cautious from the gap down. I don't know. It's a 400-point gap down. Not a small gap. What's this? What's this?
Eric, they stole 21 cars. Can you believe that?
What? 21 cars? What? They could have gave me a car. 21 cars? What they gonna do? How they gonna drive 21
At
cars?
once.
Right. That's crazy. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. I've been telling these folks, man, you need to get your life together. 21 cars? Where you gonna park all them cars at? You can't do it. I don't know what's going on with these folks. These folks need to get themselves together out here. It's too hot to be driving 21 cars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's too much gas money. How you gonna use all them cars? That's crazy. I hope they find them 21 cars though.
That's pretty funny. That's really funny. Damn, 21 cars. Still wondering if this is going to reverse down, man. Maybe I'm just being stupid. This should be long. It's kind of adding to longs or something. But I'm really sort of nervous about the fact that it's been rallying so hard the last couple of days and doing these seemingly low probability things. But maybe this is just how it is in a strong bull market. I mean, it's really a trading range now for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Okay, so for over a month it's been in a trading range. So, I don't know. Is this going back to all-time highs? Maybe. Monthly bar did close a small bear bar though. A weird looking bear bar. Like, it's closing near its open. Near the close of last month. It's probably not even a bear bar really. Like, I don't think bulls look at this and think, oh, bear bar. They probably look at it and go, yeah, it sold off a little bit. But it didn't even go below prime bar low. And it's closing near its high. Then it's low. So it's not even a bear bar. I don't know if they look at it like that, but it's interesting. Yeah, on the actual chart, it did close that way too. Yeah. Yeah. So the bars are getting a lot smaller here. Still nothing to short, really. Could just be a small pullback bull trend all day. They just keep adding to longs on small pullbacks. I don't know that. I don't really trade that way. I try to scalp in and out. And sometimes bull channels and bear channels can be very difficult for that kind of trading. So, not sure. At least I find them a little bit difficult. Suppose I prefer breakouts where you get sort of consistent, big pushes. Yeah, the bodies of this bar is very small compared to the prior bars. Let's get in some bear bars here. Now finally a bar that's about to trade below the low of the prior bar. See what happens at that low. Oh, I didn't even manage that. So the bulls are they're just not fucking letting the bears have anything here. Look at this. They're not even allowing it to go below the low of the prior bar. Here we go. They're fighting for it. Okay. Looks like it is going to go at least a tick below the low. It does. Finds buyers. Okay. Just thinking about shorting right there. As you can see from my planned entry. Just trying to work out how likely it is that it immediately goes for the low of the day or something like that. Not sure. It does seem kind of crazy thinking about shorting after seeing 4 bull bars in a row, but the swings can be pretty fast in Nasdaq. And if the market was going to trap people long, I think it's sort of printed plenty of long signals. I just give it a bit more time. Don't have to short the first bear bar that appears. See a bit more bearish price action potentially. I was thinking that the low of yesterday may be a target, but the more bull bars this market adds to the chart, the less likely that is to happen. I were to see 2 consecutive bear bars on the 2-minute chart now, something reasonable, like yeah, if they're not too huge or anything where I have to make a huge risk, I'll probably short. There's an attempt to go higher, and if it rejects it again, I might be tempted to short. Hope for some kind of swing down. So, Bitcoin's up on the day. Dow's a little bit up on the day. S&P not really. Nasdaq down on the day. Japan a little bit down on the day. So nothing overly bearish in the market broadly. Maybe just a little pullback day after 2 big rallies. So maybe if it does sell off, is it possible that it doesn't even go that far? I suppose it's hard to know that, but maybe it comes down here, test the lows if it does sell off. The thing that makes me think, yeah, it's bullish, but it's probably not that bullish, is that there are all the gaps here are pretty much closed on these bars, not like yesterday. I was thinking it'll probably go above this bar. I'm going to short it now. It feels like a low probability trade. I'm thinking if something big happens to the downside here, it could go maybe to the low of the day, I don't know. That's not really working for me, I'm getting out. Just thinking this 5-minute bar could slam up and close above everything in the last minutes of its life. Yeah, this does not look like bears are making any money, so maybe I should just really not think about shorting just yet. But I am going to short. Virtually the same price as I had before. I'm not doing amazing today, am I? Just fighting the trend, I think. Trying to pick a top, I think. Something I'm desperately trying to avoid doing. If I can help it. I do sort of feel like this is closer to 50-50, this position. But I feel like the reward could be big if it does decide to sell off here. This 15-minute bar is closing soon. In about 1 minute and 20 seconds. Well, look at the left here. The chart on the left, it feels like a bad position. So many bull bars and only a couple of bear bars. Got some movement now. Maybe I set a profit target at the low of the day yesterday. And try to make some decisions on the way. I think I want to move my stop to break even in case there's some huge, some kind of huge move up that decides to quickly rally. I'm hoping if the bulls are trapped and they see this, that there's going to be some pretty strong selling. If they decide, no, it's no good. Might take profit here, actually. I'm happy with that. That's good. I think it was like more than twice my risk. I'm just thinking, oh, sorry, no, more than once my risk. It could have been, actually. More than twice. I opened it at 22. Let's have a look. I opened it at 22. And my stop loss was above the high of the day. I think like there, about 150. And that trade made me 350. So it was more than twice my risk, actually. I just felt like this bar is really extended. Probably start pulling back a little bit. So I also had some trades in the Nikkei today. So I'm up about $1,000 today, which is good for me. It's okay. It's over 3%. Yeah, I made it exactly 650 in the Nikkei and 350, so exactly about 1,000. Which, I'm trading a $30,000 account, roughly. So that's like 3% for me. The reason I think I decided to short there was because this bar was a breakout of the bull channel. This was an attempt to go higher again, and that was the follow through. 2 bear bars. I thought, yep, try a short there. But then as this started moving up quickly, I thought, no. No good. Don't wait to get stopped out. I wanted to see this and this after these two. Something like that. I think the scalping, yeah, it suits me best. I'm able to sort of make money scalping, but I'm not very good at like trading on the 5 minute chart and expecting waiting long periods of time in a trade. I just go, oh yep, 2 times my risk, I'm happy. And my probability is decent. It's over 50%. I think last week was about 60, and the week before that was 75% hit rate when I analyzed all my trades on the weekend. Yeah, easy to say. I probably should have held, I suppose, but if I make twice my risk, I'm not upset about anything. In fact, I actually kind of feel like going to sleep now. I've made more. So I've made about 400 this session, I think. Yeah, let's have a look. So that's mine total. And then I had a plus 450 and a plus 200 and a sort of break even plus 14 in the Nikkei. So that's my total for the day. I'm happy. Yesterday I had a trade in the Nikkei that made me $2,000. That was insane. That was a crazy trade. Like I full margined the Nikkei. See if I can. So what I did was, I was trading it here. So it was towards the close of the day. I saw a bull channel going up all day. I thought, yeah, I think towards the end of the session, there's a good chance this channel is going to break out to the downside, because bulls that are buying this channel, they can see that new highs are profit-taking areas and it's pulling back. And eventually, towards the end of the day, the bulls decide, yeah, this is it's gone. It's been rallying all day, and new highs are unlikely to be places where people are buying more, because a bull channel, bulls are taking profit at new highs, and therefore it's likely to break out to the downside towards the end of the session. And what I did was, I waited for that to happen. So I was here. I waited for these two bear bars to print, and I saw this inside bar, and I decided to short below it, and I full margined it. Had a big risk. And at one point I had a drawdown of like $800, close to 1,000. I was like, oh, I was shitting myself. And I took profit down here somewhere at about the $2,000 mark. So that was scary. I was very, very stressed about that position. I was like, man, it feels good to have a big trade, but I'm not going to be doing that to myself again. I'm not going to full margin ever again. It felt so scary risking like 4% on one trade or whatever. Like, fuck. That feels scary. was just thinking at the time, like, man, I've seen some professional traders on like streams and whatever, and they have like a $15,000 risk. Or Tom Hugard, who I've seen take like swings of like $40,000 in one day. Insane. I'm just thinking, wow, I'm risking 1,400 and it feels scary. Like, fuck. Yeah, I'm not ready for that. Yeah, huge size. I sometimes panic even with small size, if I'm honest. So all of a sudden, there's buy signal here. Not looking all that great for the bulls. It's 15-minute buys closing in 3 minutes. I think the bulls are shitting themselves. They're like, oh man, V-shape reversal. Yeah, let's go. And they're going to press buy down here somewhere. It may not work out today for them. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. Just because they've had it so easy the last couple of days. Yeah, fuck them. They can lose a bit of money. The bulls. It feels like I should be short again. Yeah. But I'm not going to press any buttons for this session. I'm just going to finish